Hi, it is Rainy Crochet. Today we're doing the Belle and the Beauty and the Beast dress. And we also have the Beast outfit as well. Follow along to learn how to make this. I will have the Etsy pattern in the description below. All right, well, thanks, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started on Belle. So the Etsy pattern has the instructions for newborn, 0 to 3 months, and 3 to 6 months. But today I'm just going to be doing the 0 to 3 months. Belle's dress is 2 different colors of yellow. We're going to start with the lighter yellow. And this is all going to be done, most of this anyway, is going to be done in the 5mm hook. I'm going to have you guys go ahead and start with a chain of 55. And I will meet you guys back here once you are done with that. Okay, now that you've completed that, we're going to go ahead in the second chain from the hook. We're going to place a double crochet. And then we are going to double crochet 25 more times. There'll be a total of 26 double crochets. In the middle, we're going to single crochet 1 and 2, and then 26 double crochets. 26 double crochets on this side, 26 double crochets on this side, and 2 single crochets in the middle. And I will meet you guys at the end of that round. Okay, so we've made it to the end. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and attach this to make a circle. So make sure that you are not twisted. And we're going to go ahead and find that first double crochet. And let's go ahead and slip stitch into the top of that first double crochet. So don't worry about this down here. We'll fix that later. Go ahead and chain 2. We're going to double crochet back into the same stitch that we slip stitched into, and double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And now we want to do a double crochet increase. So that's going to be 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Okay, so now we have a cluster. And what we're going to do, our cluster is going to consist of 2 double crochets and a double crochet increase. Those 3 stitches. We're going to do 5 of those clusters. So a standalone double, and a double crochet increase. 5 of those clusters. And an increase, and that's 1 cluster. That's 2. And 3. That's 4. And last increase, that makes 5. So now we want to do 7 standalone double crochets. And if everything is right, we should be at our 2 single crochets right here. And we're going to go ahead and place a single crochet on top of the single crochets from the last row. And then 7 double crochets again. We're just going to be going backwards here. Six and 7. Okay, so now since we're going the other direction, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are starting with the double crochet increase and then the 2 standalone double crochets. So we're going to do an increase and a standalone double crochet 2 times. That's 1 and 2. Okay, so now we're going to repeat that 5 more times. So there would be a total of 6 of these clusters. And that should get us back here to the end. We should have 1 stitch left. Remember, this cluster is beginning with the increase instead of ending with the increase. And you should be able to get all the way to the end and have 1 stitch remaining. And we should be on our last set here. Increase and a standalone 1 and standalone 2 with 1 stitch remaining. Let's go ahead and place a double crochet into that last remaining stitch. Okay, so we're going to change our colors now. We're going to be working in the back bump. So go ahead and slip stitch and go ahead and cut your yarn and pull that through. So what we want to do is attach our yarn. We're going to go into the back bump. Okay, see if I can get a better view of this for you. So this yellow is very bright. Let's get this down a little bit. Okay, so here up here is our stitch. Right back here, there's a 3rd stitch, or the back bump is what some people call it. That is this side stitch, the one that's here on this side, actually. So what we want to do is we're going to attach our dark yellow to that. We're going to chain 1 and single crochet back in there. And then we're going to proceed to do 8 more single crochets, back bump only. So that'll be a total of 9. And there's, oh, if I can just get it, 7. It is not the easiest one to get into, I know, guys, but it makes it look real great. 8 and 9, a total of 9. Okay, chain 6. You want it to be a nice, good-looking chain, not too loose, not too tight. We're going to skip 14 stitches. And we're going to go into the back bump of that 15th stitch. And we are going to do the back bump for a total of 20 stitches. And 20. Double check. Okay, chain 6. Skip 14. Okay, and proceed in the back bump, 9 single crochets back to the beginning. Okay, so we made it around, and we're going to go ahead and slip stitch and chain 1. Go ahead and place our stitch marker. Okay, now we're going to do is we're going to single crochet all the way around. There should be 50 stitches total. We need 19 rows, so it's going to be way down here, of 50 single crochets. Now, once you get over here to the armholes, and as you guys, so this is the neckline, this is the shoulder strap, and so we're actually crocheting this dress like upside down, which most dresses you do start at the top and you're doing that upside down. If you can, in this chain, if you can get to your back bump or that third loop back here, it will look so much sharper. What that does is that will put a completed stitch all the way around the armhole instead of it looking, well, not as nice because it won't be like the top of the stitch. So this way, we're actually going to make it look sharper just by going around. This is the only place we need to do the back bump at, again, is just this armhole. You should have 6 of those. And then we're going to go back to standard single crochets, and we are going to keep single crocheting around 50 stitches for 19 rows. And I will meet you guys at the end of your 19 rows. Okay, so I'll see you guys in quite a while. Good luck. Okay, so we have our 19 rows, and we're going to go ahead and cut the yarn there, and we're going to, or you can just bring in your second color as you finish your single crochet. We're going to go ahead and attach our yarn, and we're going to chain 2. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch around. So let's go ahead and put 2 where we chained up. And then we're going to proceed to do 2 double crochets all the way around with a total of 100 stitches. And I will see you guys then. Okay, so we made it around. And we're going to go ahead and slip stitch. We are going to chain 2, and we're going to single crochet back into that stitch. And now what we want to do is alternate, not single crochet, I'm sorry, double crochet, stand alone, and then we're going to increase, double crochet, and then a double crochet by itself, and a double crochet increase. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. And I will see you at the end of this round. All right, we've made it around, and we've got one more standalone double crochet and then a double crochet increase, and that brings us back to the beginning. And we're going to go ahead and slip stitch, chain 2. Okay, now we're going to do 24 double crochets and then an increase. And we're going to repeat that. So of course, start back right where you chain from. We'll do 24 double crochets and then double crochet increase. 2, 23 and 24, and double crochet increase, and repeat till the end of the round, and I'll meet you back there. Okay, we made it around, and that's 24, and then a double crochet increase. Okay, and slip stitch. There we go, chain 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 rounds of double crochets all the way around. We're going to go around twice, and you should have 156 stitches, but I would not be counting them if I were you. At this point, it really isn't making any kind of a difference. So we're starting to get quite a little bit of a ruffle going on. So we're going to do 2 rounds of double crochets all the way around, and I'll meet you guys back here when you guys are done. All right, and we're back with the 2 rows. What I want you guys to do is go ahead and do 1 more row of double crochets, but when you attach this row, we need to go ahead and slip stitch down here in the 3rd loop, and we're going to slip stitch there, and we're going to chain 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do an entire row of double crochets back loop, which should be right here, and this is going to take us all the way around, and I'll meet you guys. These are way easier than a single crochet back loop, by the way. You'll find that these move very smoothly without any problems at all. So I will meet you guys at the end of the, you guys are going to do 1 more round. So you're going to have, it would be 3 solid rounds. And then go ahead and attach to the back loop with the slip stitch and do another round all the way around in the back loop only. And I'll meet you guys here when you're done. Okay, so you guys have made it around. Here's our back in the 3rd loop. And we should have, if you guys can see, there should still be 1 more here. If you guys miss one or gain one, it really is not a big deal. The counts on this really aren't making any difference at all. Let's see. I better do 1 more here. It's kind of a stretch. Okay, so I went ahead and put 1 more in. Like I said, more is not, it's not a big deal. Or less, you're going to be stretching more. So we're going to go ahead and come down to the row we just completed. That was in the 3rd loop, and go ahead and attach with a slip stitch here. We're going to chain 2. Now we have 6 rows to do before we're done with this part of the dress. So this one doesn't count. This one's completed. So if you guys want to just keep crocheting until you have 7 rows, that's great. Or you want to move your stitch marker, that's up to you guys. But at this point, you're doing 6 more rows of double crochets around. And I'll see you guys here in quite some time. So good luck. Phew, you guys exhausted yet? Yeah, this dress is very, very poofy. Okay, so we're on our last crochet of the 6th row. So our first row was in the 3rd loop. 4, 5, 6 rows. Wonderful. Now we're going to go ahead and slip stitch here and chain 1 and cutting our yarn. Pull that through. Then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and join to the back of our dress at the top. We're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of trim here at the top of the dress. So let's get our same color. And we're going to go ahead and chain to that first stitch. Attach our yarn. And then chain 1. Now we can tuck these in if we would like. Let me get this one a little shorter here, not necessary to be that long. And then we want to go ahead and single crochet back into that stitch. And then we are going to a single crochet 22 stitches. It's getting very poofy, isn't it? I'm trying to keep this in your view, but the best I can. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead, and once we get to those single crochets, whether your count is 22 or not, that's all depending on exactly where you hooked it up at in the back. Don't be worried about that. So these 2 stitches here, we're going to go ahead and just slip stitch on the single crochets. That's really all that count really means. And then we're going to go ahead and bring the rest of this. So that'll keep that down at a nice V. And then we're just going to go ahead and single crochet the rest of the way around. Whatever the number is, it really, like I said, it really doesn't make a difference as long as you're slip stitching over the top of the single crochet. Once we get to the back, then we're going to go ahead and connect our yarn, cut it off, crochet our ends in if we need, and I'm going to meet you back here. Have your darker yellow ready, and we will do this little bit of trim that's on the dress. Okay, I'll see you guys then. I want to show you guys a nice way to trim this off as well. So go ahead and go in your last stitch and just pull your yarn through. Do not slip stitch. And this is a real nice way to trim something out that's at the very top and very, like somebody will notice it, like a big blanket, people won't notice. But go ahead and bring your needle in through the back of that first stitch. And then here's where the yarn is coming out of. This was our last stitch. So now what we'll do is go right back into that and then pull it into the back. And what this does is as we tighten it up, it actually creates a stitch right there so it looks really, really sharp. And then go ahead and weave your ends in, okay? And I just thought I'd jump in and show you guys that real quick, and then we'll come to the ruffle. All right. So let's go ahead now. We're going to flip our dress and we're going to put our body, this part, towards us. And what we're going to end up doing is we are going to work on, we are going to be working on this little flap that we still have sitting there. Remember when we did the back loop or the third loop? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're starting in the back of the dress, approximately. So where this connection is, because we did all these rows, see this was offset here. What we want to do is let's go ahead, I'm going to anyway, and come straight to what I think is the back of the dress. And I'm going to go ahead and attach my mustard or this darker orange, whatever you were using. And if you can, go ahead and tuck your yarn as you go. So let's chain 1 and single crochet in the same space. Then half double crochet, double crochet in the next 2, triple crochet in the next 5. A triple, we're going to wrap it twice and come through 2, come through 2, come through 2. That's a triple. Wrap it twice. And we're going to do 5 of these. So, so that should be 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to go back down. We're going to double crochet in the next 2. Let's get this out of my way. Okay, sorry about that. And then we will half double crochet and single crochet. And we are going to repeat this pattern all the way around. So I'll do it one more time with you guys. Go ahead, we're going to single crochet, half double crochet, 2 double crochets, 5 triples, that's 4, and 5. And back down, 2 double crochets, a half double crochet, and a single crochet. And see our little frill that we've made? It's going to go up and down and up and down. It's going to lay on the dress. It's going to look like this. This look real, real nice. Okay, so you guys complete the rest of this. Cut your yarn, get all your ends sewn in, and our dress is done. You guys did it. So when we get back together, we're going to start on the headband. So go ahead and finish that up. Good luck. You guys have done a really good job. Congratulations. Okay, so I thought I'd jump back in here to see where this sits, where we did the third post, the round that we did on the back post, or the third loop. What I've been messing with it, and I think what I'm going to do, in case you guys want to pull it out, is I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to go through both of these like this when I go to do my stitch, which in this case is a triple crochet. I think I'm going to do this like this because it really just wasn't liking how it looked. So see, now that kind of fixed it. I like that a lot better. So then we would have single, half, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what I can do, I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. See how that lands like that? So I'm going to go ahead and put this one in here. I don't want to lose a stitch, but when I place, this will be my 4th triple crochet. When I place this in here, I'm also going to grab this back one. And I know this is going to be very difficult for you guys to see. The one that we just put a triple in. That is going to connect this a little better instead of having to come back. And now, see, we can't even see it. So I like that. That's nice. So that would have been 4 and then 5. I always try to jump back in case I found something out. At least, hopefully I jump in soon enough that I can catch you guys before it got too late. But if anything, you guys kind of learn from it, right? Okay, and then looks like we're going to have 1 extra stitch here. So I'm going to do a half. I'm going to go ahead and just do 2 singles, I think. Will look fine. Or, nope, let's single crochet 2 together right here. I think that'll be nice. Let's look what that looks like. And then slip stitch. Yep, nobody knows the wiser. Okay, guys, see you in a little bit for the headbands. Okay, so we are onto the headbands. Green and a red that you've got spare. Laying around, doesn't really matter exactly the color or anything. So you can either make this one solid piece and crochet this together like this. But I don't like that because you don't know what size that head is actually going to be, and then either slides off or it's too tight, and we don't like that. So what I like to do, and this is one of my staples, I use this Velcro in almost every project, and this glue. I got to show it every time. I tell you, these guys should sponsor me as many times as I show it. So what I do is I take that self-adhesive Velcro and just the rough part, I pull that sticker off and I'll glue it on, so it's stuck for good. And then what happens is when you wrap this, you can adjust this to exactly where you want. See? So what you do want to do is make sure that you make it long, right? This one is like for a newborn. And that is on the furthest that it can go out. So you guys can jump online and you can find charts. But we need probably, I'm going to do like 17 inches for 0 to 3 months because I would rather, I'm going to look at it and see what I think. Because it's going to be an actual head circumference. 0 to 3 months is going to be probably around 14 inches actual circumference, but we don't know that, so we want it to be long enough where we can still pull it over and we can Velcro it like this. So that is kind of going to be up to you. I will let you guys know how much I chain and get an idea if you guys want to do exactly what I do, and let's cross our fingers, hopefully it works out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my chain going, and I will let you guys know what we're going to do after that. Okay. Okay, so if you guys want to just attach it and not have Velcro at all, you, for the 0 to 3 months, you should do a chain of 47. We are using the 5mm hook. We are going to jump to a 4mm hook on our rows, but we will deal with that in a minute. I chained 60 so that it will overlap, and I feel like I'm going to be comfortable with this size. The dress is quite big. So that somebody can use it a wide range of years, possibly all the way up to 6 months. So this to me is just a much safer bet. So I went ahead and chained 60. So let's go ahead and chain one more to turn. What we want to do is flip this, and here's where I know you guys hate it. Let's do a half double crochet in this back chain here. Why we do this is because, again, it's going to look finished on both sides instead of there being a chain on one side. So the back bump, the third loop, whatever, lots of people call it, but we're just going to turn it. You guys are probably much better at it now. And we're going to go all the way down doing this 60 half double crochets. But see, now it's finished on this side and it's finished on that side. So it looks good. We're done. It's awesome, right? It looks good. Okay, so I'm going to pause it. I'll let you guys chain, do your half double crochets. We come back, we'll do our flower. Okay, so we made it back. Here we are. And then we're at the end. I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch this or pull the yarn through. And I'm going to tie this in a good knot, and then I'm going to weave in the ends. See how so it's just curved a little? You guys see how that kind of sucks in like that? And remember, when you tie a knot, you have to take turns on who goes through the hole, or it really isn't a knot. Okay, tie those ends in, and then I'm going to go ahead, and this end is the pretty end, I think, anyway. So I'm going to put the Velcro on the back side of this end. Now, if not, you guys would not have done that. You guys would have went ahead and crocheted this together. That way, the pretty end is going on top of this here and can be adjusted as needed. This Velcro is so nice because it actually just sticks really well to the yarn without having to even use the soft part of the Velcro. So let's go ahead and move on to the rows, and I'll finish that up in just a minute. So for the rows, I'm using a 4mm hook, and whatever red you have laying around. This is great to use up bits and pieces of yarn that you guys still have. I do this completely different than the pattern does. The pattern makes a very big flower, and I think it's just way too big. So what I do is I go ahead and chain. I'm going to chain 16. Now, depending on how much you chain is going to be how big your rose is going to end up. So you guys can experiment. It's very easy to do. So I'm going to start with 16. Okay, and then in the second chain from the hook here, I'm just going to put 2 half double crochets, and we're just going to put 2 half double crochets in each one of these stitches. And this is a really simple, easy flower. if you need to go ahead and add a flower to something, this is just the way to go, if you ask me, just because it's so simple. So it's just going to curve. I'm going to meet you guys here in just a minute once I'm done with 2 half double crochets all the way down my chain. Okay, I'm jumping back in here to get some things finished up. So I got my little piece of Velcro here. I thought I'd just show you guys how this goes. Maybe I should have paused the video till I peeled this damn sticker off. Okay, phew. All right, and I'm going to put a little bit of this glue on there. It is already sticky, but I don't trust it, so I'm just going to add a little bit of more security for myself. Okay, set that aside and let it dry. Now we have our rose. We're going to go ahead and pull this. I leave a long tail. And all you have to do is wrap this thing up. Like this. See how nice and cute that is? Very, very. And then I'll sew these ends in, and you can take this and sew this through so this doesn't pop out. And then again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find my center. Not that it's going to matter. And then I will glue my rose on here like this. Well, that's the nice side. So it looks like this. You can sew it on, of course. I love this glue. I love this glue. You can wash it. It's waterproof. It's good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and sew my end in here. I'm going to take my longer piece and make my rose, and I'll glue this on. And we got the headband done. And now we're off to our little booties. See you guys in a little bit.